Baby, 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 man, here we go. It's Monday and we're back in the market. I love the stock market. I just absolutely love it. I love things work out when you're patient enough to see them come through, and that's a little bit what we're seeing right now. So lots to talk about here. Obviously, the main objective here we're going to talk about is DWAC, Trump news, what's going on here. If you are new, hello. Thank you for being here. Listen to me yap. If you are back, hello again. And it's good to see you, friends. And let's talk about what's going on here. So obviously in the market, there's a huge shift going on in the market right now, and there's like different just like segments in the market right now. You know, we've got AI over here doing its thing, going crazy. A little sell off this week, but still not a whole lot. And then we've got crypto over here, and really like it's the meme stock. So Bitcoin, it's almost at 70,000. It might be at 70,000 by the morning. Doge is almost back at 20 cents, and Shiba's right behind it, going strong. And you know, if you kept your coins, it's a good thing because they're going crazy, and it looks like we may see something happen here that it's breaking records. So we've got that going on, and then we've got the Trump situation going on in the market, and we're just seeing the market is this is the funnest it's been in a few years now in the market. I think a lot of us that have been waiting for something like this to happen, it's finally happening. It's just fun. It's an enjoyable time to be in the market and a wild time to even be in the market. So DWAC, before we talk about DWAC, you kind of have to mention what's going on right now. Trump obviously is acquitted. He's free to be on the ballot where they were trying to keep him off of it. The Supreme Court ruled over it that he's allowed to be on the ballot. So that's good news. And then tomorrow's Super Tuesday, and it's a super day because it's going to have so many states involved in that, and it'll probably knock out Nikki Haley for good. And then we will know once and for all that Trump and Biden will be going head to head here in November. Then probably this month, Trump will more than likely announce a candidate. So a lot of big things happening here, and this could drive up the stock of DWAC a whole lot. And not to mention, the biggest thing of it all is that the deal is supposed to happen. The deal is supposed to happen here with True Social and Digital World coming together and being one in harmony and united, and making all of us breathe a little easier at night that the deal is done, and then we're on to the next steps of where it's going to go from there. So friends, this is what we're up against. This is what's going on. And listen, I say this every video, but I have to kind of say it, because if not, there's always like a handful of people that come in here and they're like, you didn't even talk about like True Social's earnings or what they're doing. They're losing money. I know all that. We know all that. I don't think the majority of people here, I'm certainly not, I'm not buying into Digital World Acquisition, True Social, because I think this is going to be the next revolutionary platform for news, media, whatever it be, you know, this year at least. I'm strictly in this right now for the FOMO, for the hype of what could happen, because if you've been in the market for any time, you have seen FOMO, you have seen things get out of control when there is massive hype around it to what could be, and that's what we're watching right now. That's what's happening in the crypto market right now. People are like, well, it's still going. What's still going? People are like, well, I had people message me today. Like, I had a friend was like, should I get in Shiba? I was like, sure. Well, he's already made like a few $100 as he put a crazy amount of money in it. It's just what's going on right now. People don't want to miss the FOMO, and that is what we're seeing right now with DWAC. So yes, for the 100th time, for the people that love to come in here and, you know, write an article about how I'm misleading people. I know what True Social is, what they're doing, what they're not doing. I know. So I know you're going to write it anyway, but God bless you. So where am I? What's next here? Okay, True Social, Digital World Acquisition. Let me get this up and going. The stock is back up to mid-range $45, and you know, we've seen 50 before. That's not shy to us. Let's be honest, if I had all the money in the world, I would make a huge bet that Trump is going to win every state tomorrow. More than likely, he's going to win all these states. And then he is going to be named the primary candidate. And, I think a lot of us would agree that I would win that bet, and I would give you all $1 million because I think that's a solid, bet that's going to happen. Now, with this is probably going to drive up the stock. And once they do announce that Trump is the guy here, then this will probably drive up Digital World acquisition even more. Then we have 2 more weeks before we really start seeing this deal come through. And obviously the news that came out here last week that damaged Digital World acquisition, making the stock plummet a little bit, was the whole thing about a potential setback in the merger because co-founders were accusing Trump of diluting the stock. So there's no more news on that. I think they're gonna, as far as we know, they're gonna go through with the deal. From what it sounds like, I don't know. The thing is like Trump needs this to happen. This needs to happen, because this is gonna look bad if the deal gets pushed back, and that's. And there's no way to talk about this without we're not even talking about stocks right now. This is gonna get political real fast, but obviously. I find it kind of hard to believe if you're for Trump or against Trump, whatever, but it is a little fishy that this is just now coming out at the 11th hour before the deal is supposed to happen here. So it kind of leads me to suspect that, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on, an allegation that's going on, but it's a little fishy here. So I don't know that they're going to be able to do this. I don't know if they're going to get it in court. I don't know that they're going to stop the deal from happening. I don't know. At this point, Trump is just blazing through these lawsuits, accusations, whatever it be, it's not stopping him. So I really don't even know why this one would affect him at this point. They would have to have some serious evidence for this thing to get halted. Because as far as we know, they've already sent out memes to investors that are holding Digital World acquisition, hey, this is happening, you get to vote on it, and we're going to make this happen. So I think the majority of us, we're wondering, is 45 cheap right here? And the fact that this stock has kept $45 for this long now is really, really interesting. Now, I am curious what is going to happen here. Let's say at the end of March, the deal happens. All 3 horsemen have aligned themselves up at this point. Trump takes, all the states tomorrow, kind of wrapping up things here. I think tomorrow, after he wraps it up, it's going to be quite obvious. I think they announce it. He's just going to blow Nikki out of the water. And I say that not to be mean. I just say that because the numbers are the numbers at this point. I mean, she won DC, but we were expecting that. But you have that, him being, named the candidate. Then he's going to announce his vice president. There's some names out there, and that's going to help him, whoever he picks. We don't know if it's man or woman, whoever. And then we have the deal happening here in March. Now, and too, if they were to bring this lawsuit back up, this accusation of him, diluting the stock, if he were to win and that would kind of get blown out the window, that would probably drive up the stock a little more too, because that'd make people feel a little more comfortable. But you have all these things lining up here to where at the end of this month, the deal actually were to happen. I do believe the stock will run up more. Now, is it going to be a triple digit? I don't know. We've seen the stock hit 80s, 90s before for a split second and then trail back down. So I don't think it's absurd to say that couldn't happen again. The very interesting thing here is that we're seeing a shift in the market. There is a shift happening in this market right now. We're starting to see market numbers and market this kind of look right now in investing that I saw this investing and I saw this movement in the market back in 2018 to 2020 AMC, the whole ape situation kind of right there where you were starting to see more average people just start investing money. And especially this crypto thing is really helping, whether people want to admit that or not, that helps the general market because that gets people in the market and investing in things. So I believe once we get this deal done, this deal were to happen here in March, it goes through, then Trump can just say, he can say, this is my company, he's going to publicize it, of course, where he's going to talk about it, saying, True Social is on you can trade it, you can buy it, you can, he's going to be telling people to buy it for their retirement. I mean, let's just be honest, he's going to be pumping the stock in little ways that he can where he can't get in trouble. But And then you're going to have people that love Trump, and they're going to go, well, I want to invest in what Trump loves and what Trump cares about, and I trust Trump. And whether you do or not, I don't care. That's not for me to say. But you're going to see movement off of that too. Now, obviously, even if you were to buy, if Digital World, say, well, at that point, if True Social were to, 20 million more shares were to be ate up, and this thing kind of stayed around a $40 to a $55 mark, that would be significant right there, to where those shares were just held and people were staying in this for the long run. Because I think that might potentially could happen, where a lot of Trumpers would come in here, and if you're a Trumper, that's fine. I'm not talking junk. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just trying to say this so we're all on the same page here. What's going on? I honestly believe there's going to be people that are just going to buy into this. They're not going to look at quarterlies. They're not going to look at what's going on in the future with the stock. They're not this company. They're not going to look at any kind of ratio to stock to share to money, anything like that. They're not going to look at outstanding shares, nothing. They're not going to care. They're just going to go, I want to be involved in True Social. That's all they're going to say. And you know what? That's their God-given right. And I think you're going to see a whole lot of new investors come in here and start to eat up shares of True Social. Now, for the general investor, yes, this is going to be good because it's going to start to eat up shares, and it's going to drive up the price. And not to mention, you have that little part, that little segment going on here. But then we have this thing over here where I'm kind of in the camp where I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here. It's being heavily driven up because it's just FOMO around it right now. It's just like, is it going to stay at 50 or is it going to go to $200? We don't know. And yes, I realize that sounds crazy and ridiculous, but we've seen crazier things happen in the market in this past 5-6 years in the market. Let's be honest here. Anything's possible at this point. So, where's it going to go? And then I think you just have people who are kind of just maybe don't really know what's going on. They don't know all the news with it, and they're just kind of like, oh, I'll buy a few shares of this stock. Who knows? But all these little things come together, and they drive the stock. And where this thing's gonna land in December of this year, I don't know. I don't know. I do believe, going back to what I should have finished 10 minutes ago saying, is that obviously at the end of this month, if the deal happens, it goes through, I believe that the stock will be driven up dramatically. And when I say dramatically, maybe that's $80, maybe that's $100. But I do believe that it will fall after that. I do believe that there will be a little bit of a quiet, because let's be honest, once Trump gets announced that he's going to be running for he's going to be the candidate against Biden, and he's running during the summer, more than likely, there's a few more things that are going to happen here. But, probably July, August, September, it's going to kind of quiet down, I believe. It's going to quiet down, and we may see a lull in the stock. Now, that low may be it may just sit at $45. It may sit at $60. I don't know. Or maybe we could see it take a little bit of damage because people get a little bored with it. But more than likely, coming back in October, November here, the stock is going to start to run again. Now, I don't have a magic ball. I wish I could tell you that's what's going to happen or what would happen. But I'm running these theories through my head, what could happen, because I am asking myself as an investor, where is the point where I sell out of this and I kind of just walk away until I really see what's happening here? Because I'm going to be quite honest with you. If you're investing in True Social, when this DWAC turns into True Social, and that's what you're investing in, at that point, we're still not looking at finances. We're still not looking at quarterlies. I'm not expecting True Social to revolutionize the news media or the platforms or come up with their own kind of, earth-shattering technology. I'm not expecting that. I'm just expecting this thing to keep getting pushed up because of everything I just said. And I don't say that to be mean. I say that as an investor, and I think you really have to say, am I an investor, somebody who's in the stock market to make money, or am I caring a little too much and I'm just a little too attached to, I just want to invest in this stock because I believe in Truth Social. If you do, that's great. That's good. But I do want to warn you that probably 2025, we're probably going to see Truth Social, the stock, probably take a lot of damage because all that'll be left at that point will be people that are bag holding and people that are wanting to be it for the long run. Good, great. But at that point, okay, Trump's president. Well, now we just have quarterlies to look forward to. We just have that. What kind of money are they bringing in? Are they going to keep Truth Social what it is? Is Trump going to say things to damage the stock where it scares investors? So I say all this just because I want people to really think about where they want to walk away with this and where this could go. I'm going to be honest, if this stock goes to $100 to $200, I would really consider selling out. And I say those crazy numbers because for me, that would be like, okay, I might need to reset where I'm at with this because I think this is going to be a volatile stock because it has a person attached to it. That's good and that's bad. It has a person attached to it. Good and bad news will follow this stock because it is attached to Trump. So friends, like I said, I want to put my game plan out there. People ask me all the time, and I can't write all that in a comment. So if you can decipher through that, that's kind of what I'm thinking. What's going to go on here? Somebody told me long ago in the market to not be too attached. Do not get too emotional in stocks like what you're investing in, because more than likely you can always buy back in cheaper. And that is so true. God, that's so true. And that's something I always have to remind myself, that patience will always pay off. So, even if Digital World were to have this merger at the end of this month and then fall apart for a little bit, I know there's still things going to happen. There's still things that are going to happen this year to where I feel confident. I'm still going to get that big number that I want out of this. I'm still going to get what I want here, hopefully. So friends, I'm going to shut up, let everybody see what's going on here tomorrow. I'm excited. Tomorrow, I'm expecting this thing to run to 50. I would not be surprised to see things happen after hours because a lot of the news tomorrow is going to be coming out later. So this thing is going to be heavily traded tomorrow. The volume is probably going to be crazy, and it's going to be traded around so much because people know it's just going to have news around it all day. It's going to have good news around it more than likely. That's all we're expecting tomorrow is good news around Trump and good news around Digital World acquisition. Good news if you like Trump and he's becoming the primary candidate against Biden. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being here. Bye, everyone.